Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to get our Christmas in July started. So with that, let's get started with our first DIY. To get this DIY started, we're going to start with this beach Dollar Tree sign that I'm going to take the mermaid off of. We're going to take the string off of it, and we are going to get the paper prepared for the back of this, as this may wind up in my boutique. So I want to make sure that it is boutique ready. We're going to take some wood filler and I'm going to fill in the holes so that it is an actual plaque and it's not like a hanging plaque. This is a plaque that we're going to put on a stand. Then I just use my little finger sander to sand it down and my adorable ladybug vacuum. We're going to be using Waverly in Snow White, and we are going to paint all of this white. I'm going to go ahead. I don't like the Dollar Tree paintbrushes unless I am doing a distress look. So I go ahead and grab my regular paintbrush and I get this completely covered in white. Now I have gotten my stencil down and we are going to use Waverly Crimson. This stencil pack will be down in the description box, you guys. It has the most amazing stencils. I absolutely love them. There are so many cute ones to choose from, and I can't wait to show you the new ones that I got. If you did not know, I go live every Wednesday at 9:30 at night, and I show you guys what I get for the week, and I have some really fun stuff to show you guys this coming Wednesday, so make sure you stick around. Make sure you're subscribed and like this video if you enjoy content like that. As you see, I am taking tape and I'm taping over the letters that I will be doing in a different color, just so that I don't accidentally hit them, because y'all know I am shaky Nancy and I will definitely get the different color paints splattered everywhere. So I definitely make sure that I go over. At one point you'll see like 90 pieces of tape, but that's okay because I do my best to make sure that I stay in the areas I need to. If you are stenciling, always hold down. As you see my fingers, they always get covered in paint, no biggie, but I'm always holding down the areas so that the stencil doesn't like pop up and down. I have a new technique I will be using on my next one, and I'm super excited to use Mod Podge first and then use my stencil. I didn't get me using the glitter that I used, but I got it at, it's like a 8-pack or 10-pack I got at Walmart like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So then I go ahead and just tape down over the other letters that I don't want to get red on, as the colors I'm going to be using are red, black, and gold. And I continue to go over this again. Make sure you hold down the areas that you are stenciling so it doesn't pop up and down and you don't get like a bunch of bleeding through the sides of the underneath of the stencil. That glitter looks so cute on the Santa letters. I am so glad I did that. And so once you go over it once, I do go over it twice. Once it is dried, I give it a few minutes and I go over it, and our red colors are completed. Now, as you see, all my crazy tape, I'm making sure that none of the red areas get black tape on them. And then I also tape off a few extra areas where the gold will be. So we're going to go ahead and go in with the black all over the other letters. And I just continue that all the way around, making sure to go like really light. I dab it in the paint and then I dab it on the paint on the paper plate, because you do not want a big glob of paint on this. You want it really just to be really super thin. You can go over it as many times as needed, and then I flip it over and I start again on the top of the sign. And I do the same thing. Go very slow, hold your letters down, and make sure that you go both ways. So I will look at it one way and paint, and then flip it around and do it the other way. Now we are going to reveal some of the letters without all of the paint on it, and we are going to get started on our gold. You guys, I always have so much fun taking like the tape off of everything and getting like the stencil pulled up. It's just such a great reveal to me after all the work. As you see now, there are some stars and there are some other little areas that I will be painting. And then I did decide that I guess it's like the pole that comes out the top, and then there's like a circle at the bottom you can't see right this moment. I do go ahead and paint those gold also to pull in more ties of the color gold and the snowflakes at the top. I will say to do very light little, dabs of the gold, because you can always go over it to thicken the gold up. The Folkart gold that I'm using is absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. We're also doing the snowflakes on here. And again, I just do very light layers because I don't want it to bleed underneath and have to do, so much fixing afterwards. And I happen to do that often. You will see. Once I reveal it, I will go through and show you how I fix this so it doesn't look so much like a stencil and more of a actual, painted design. So here we go. We're just going to keep going over, and as you see, the gold does get darker as we go over it, and then I decide I want those gold also. So I go ahead, and it did take a couple more layers, obviously, because I did paint it red, which wasn't a big deal. So we're going to go ahead and get the tape pulled off of that. And you guys, oh my gosh, I just love how this turned out. I go over these again with the gold just to really brighten that gold up some. Now you will see that I actually got some of the red, which is why I decided to start taping on the actual white where I don't want color. It is so easy to just take your small detailed paintbrushes and go in and paint. Now we are going to do the reveal. This is so stinking cute. The red glitter is absolutely perfect on it, and I loved it. But we're not done. You could totally leave it just like this. It's absolutely adorable like that, but you know how I am and what I enjoy, and that is distressing. So we do go in with our hand after we do the letters. But first I'm going to take my white paint, and as you've seen, some of the letters kind of got the paint full in it, and so I'm just going around and touching up the letters, anything that looks like there's too much. As you'll see here, the N was actually fully turned black at the bottom, where I guess it had bled under each side and connected. And then as you see on that top line, there are some indents that kind of faded out, and so I just take my very thin paintbrush with white, or the Snow White in Waverly, and I go over them. Now I am taking my very fine paintbrush again, but with the black. And what I'm doing is I'm connecting the letters. That way it doesn't look so much like a stencil, but looks like it would. And the stencil look isn't bad. I leave the Santa hat as it is, but with my letters, I do enjoy them to look more cohesive and all one. So I go ahead and take it and finish those in. Now I'm going to take this little foam brush, and I'm going to go all around the edges with my black to really give some detail edging. I think about if this was on Santa's workshop, on the front of the building, or wherever Santa's workshop is, it would be distressed. It wouldn't be brand new, and it definitely wouldn't be like crisp white. So I go ahead and I just take it. I go very lightly all the way around, and then I take a look and I'm like, well, maybe a little more. And so I add a little bit more all the way around it. And I think that distressing things just makes everything look a little bit more weathered, vintage. And you guys, look at how pretty this is. I absolutely love it. Now we're going to take one of our Elmer's purple glue sticks. Absolutely love these. This is what I do with a lot of my pieces that I plan on reselling or just making for others. I go ahead and I take that glue stick, I go all the way around it, I take the paper and I'm going to cover it, and that's going to close off the back where you're not going to see, mermaid inspired what Dollar Tree had on it. I use the back of it to keep a nice fresh clean slate to start with, and then I just take my X-Acto knife and I go all the way around, just cutting this to where it literally just peels up around it. And there we go. It is all off. Now I take my finger sander once again, I go all the way around. I notice that there's a few pieces, not a big deal. You just cut them and then take your little X-Acto knife and just trim it out. You kind of want to make sure you do that so that you keep the form of it. and that way it looks nice and detailed like it was. And then we go back all the way around with our finger sander. And I love doing this. Number one, it like makes sure that the paper and the sign is together, but it also kind of distresses around and brings a little bit more white around the edges where the black is. And I hit up a little bit of the corners and just go all the way around. And you guys, here is the finished look. What do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comment section what you like about this best. Would you have kept these colors, and what your favorite thing for Christmas is? Do you have any special things you do with your family? I'm so excited to do so much more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.